Assalamu alaikum all sisters and brothers in Islam. Welcome back to my channel. Today, we will be exploring the extraordinary life of Umar ibn al-Khattab, Razi Allah anhu, one of the greatest figures in Islamic history. From his early years as an opponent of Islam to becoming the second caliph of the Rashidun Caliphate, Umar's story is one of transformation, devotion, and leadership. Join me as we delve into his background, conversion to Islam, his love for Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, his monumental contributions to Islam, and his undying devotion to Allah Ta'ala. A brief summary of Umar's life journey and his significance in Islam. Early life and background, birth and family. Umar ibn al-Khattab was born around 584 CE in Mecca, in the tribe of Quraysh, one of the most respected tribes in the Arabian Peninsula. He was from the Adi clan, which was considered noble. His father was al-Khattab ibn Nufail, and his mother, Hantama bint Hashim, was of high status. From a young age, Umar was known for his strength and courage, traits that would define him throughout his life. His family was wealthy and well respected, though they did not initially follow Islam. Upbringing and early years. Umar was an educated man, literate at a time when many were not, and he excelled in poetry, wrestling, and horse riding. He was also known for his strong character and leadership within the Quraysh tribe. Opposition to Islam. Before embracing Islam, Umar was one of the fiercest opponents of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and the early Muslim community. He was vocal in his disdain for the new religion and even participated in the persecution of the early Muslims. Opposition to Islam. Persecution of Muslims. In the early days of Islam, Umar was determined to stop the spread of the faith. He participated in the oppression of the Muslims in Mecca, physically harming them and making life difficult for the Prophet's companions. One of the most infamous stories involves Umar's anger toward his sister and brother-in-law, both of whom had secretly embraced Islam. When he found out, he physically attacked them, but upon hearing verses of the Quran, his heart softened, and this moment marked a turning point in his life. His internal struggle and the search for the truth. Umar's opposition was driven by his belief that Islam was a threat to the Quraysh and their power. However, deep inside, he felt conflicted. This inner turmoil was a sign of the sincerity of his heart, which was searching for truth. Conversion to Islam. The moment of his conversion. Umar's transformation began when he decided to confront the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, directly, intending to kill him. But on his way, he was intercepted by a man who told him to visit his sister, who had already converted to Islam. He was so enraged that he set off toward her house. When Umar arrived at his sister's house, he heard the recitation of the Quran. His anger led to him striking his sister, but upon hearing the words of Allah, he was moved and his heart softened. His sister recited to him verses from the Quran, and in that moment, Umar's heart opened to Islam. He immediately declared his faith in Allah and the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. The importance of his conversion. Umar's conversion was a turning point for the Muslim community. His strength, leadership, and status among the Quraysh gave the Muslims much-needed confidence and security. His conversion proved that no one was beyond the mercy and guidance of Allah. His relationship with the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. Love and loyalty to the Prophet, peace be upon him. Umar's love for the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, grew immensely after his conversion. He became one of the closest companions of the Prophet, peace be upon him, and was always by his side in battles, during moments of advice, and in key decisions. Umar had immense respect for the Prophet's peace be upon him leadership. He was one of the few who would challenge the Prophet peace be upon him directly, but always with respect, in a way that helped clarify important matters for the Muslim community. Support in key events. Umar was one of the key supporters of the Prophet peace be upon him, in the battles of Badr, Uhud, and the Battle of the Trench. His courage on the battlefield was unparalleled. In the Battle of Uhud, despite the loss, Umar stood firm alongside the Prophet peace be upon him. His role in the Hijra migration. Umar's migration from Mecca to Medina was also significant. Unlike others who left in secrecy, Umar boldly announced his migration, symbolizing his commitment to Islam and his readiness to face any challenge for the sake of Allah. Contributions to Islam, leadership and governance. After the death of Abu Bakr, Razi Allah anhu, Umar was chosen as the second caliph of Islam. His leadership ushered in an era of growth and prosperity for the Muslim community. His reign lasted for 10 years, from 634 CE to 644 CE, and during this time, the Islamic Empire expanded dramatically. Umar established many administrative systems, including the creation of a formal tax system, the appointment of governors, and the division of land among the poor and soldiers. Expansion of the Islamic Empire. Under Umar's leadership, the Muslims conquered vast territories. The Roman and Persian empires fell before the Muslim armies. The conquest of Jerusalem, the defeat of the Sassanid Empire, and the expansion into Egypt were significant milestones in Umar's caliphate. Judicial and social reforms. Umar was committed to justice. He established courts and ensured that the law of Islam was upheld fairly. His famous saying, "Fear the supplication of the oppressed," became a cornerstone of his leadership. He also introduced the Islamic welfare system, providing support for the poor, orphans, and widows. The Bayt al-Mal state treasury was established under his caliphate to manage the wealth of the state. The establishment of the Islamic calendar. Umar is credited with establishing the Islamic lunar calendar, based on the Hijra migration of the Prophet from Mecca to Medina. This calendar is still used today. The Quranic compilation. During Umar's rule, the companions of the Prophet peace be upon him began compiling the Quran into a single book form, a task that was completed under the leadership of Abu Bakr Razi Allah anhu, but Umar played a crucial role in supporting this project. His piety and devotion to Allah. Umar's character and piety. Umar was known for his piety, humility, and simplicity. Despite his position as a powerful ruler, he lived a simple life. He would often be seen walking the streets of Medina at night, checking on his people and ensuring that their needs were met. His love for Allah and the Prophet peace be upon him was evident in his worship. He was known for his long prayers, his night vigils, and his frequent recitation of the Quran. Umar's fear of Allah. Umar's deep connection to Allah was also marked by his constant fear of falling into sin. He would often say, "I fear that I might lose my faith or that I might stray from the straight path." This constant awareness of Allah's presence kept him grounded. His sincerity. Despite his immense achievements, Umar remained humble and always sought forgiveness for his sins. His sincerity and devotion to Allah Subhanahu were admired by all. His final years and death. The assassination. Umar's life came to an end in 644 CE when he was stabbed by a Persian slave named Abu Lu'lu'a while leading the Fajr prayer in the Mosque of Medina. The wound was fatal, and he died 3 days later. Before his death, Umar appointed a council of 6 people to choose the next caliph, ensuring a smooth transition of power. His final words were a reflection of his life of service to Allah and the Muslim community. His legacy. Umar ibn al-Khattab's legacy lives on as one of the greatest caliphs in Islamic history. His contributions to the expansion of Islam, his commitment to justice, and his leadership are remembered and respected across the Muslim world. Summary of Umar's life. From a fierce opponent of Islam to becoming one of its greatest leaders, Umar ibn al-Khattab's transformation is a testament to the power of faith, sincerity, and humility. His life was a beacon of leadership, devotion, and justice. Umar's devotion to Allah and His Messenger, his tireless efforts to spread and protect Islam, and his exemplary character continue to inspire us today. Let us reflect on his life and strive to emulate his qualities of justice, piety, and leadership. Thank you for watching. If you found this video insightful, please like, comment, and share. May Allah SWT bless you with knowledge and guidance. Allah Hafiz.